Welcome to Study Loop.
To answer this question, we first have to discuss what alpha-amanitin is and how it will play a role in DNA transcription into RNA. So if we were to look at alpha-amanitin, we find that this is actually going to be a cyclic polypeptide. So it's a cyclic protein composed of 8 amino acids. So you might not even want to call it a protein, but just a polypeptide or a peptide chain. All that you have to really know is that it's very, very short. So what will it do? Well, actually, it turns out that alpha-amanitin has an effect on polymerase. And specifically, we know that it has an effect on RNA polymerase. So it affects RNA polymerase. But we also know that there are multiple different types of RNA polymerase, right? We know that there is RNA polymerase 1. There's also RNA polymerase 2. And of course, there is RNA polymerase 3. And you might think, why is this going to matter to us? Well, it turns out that alpha-amanitin is not going to have an effect at all on RNA polymerase 1. So if we are to trace and outline the effect that alpha-amanitin will have on each of these polymerases, we find that in RNA polymerase 1, there is no effect. And we find that RNA polymerase 3 is going to be affected only if there's a very high concentration of alpha-amanitin. So we can say it's moderate effect. But for RNA polymerase 2, this is going to be highly sensitive to alpha-amanitin. So we can say that alpha-amanitin will have a strong effect on RNA polymerase 2. And then finally, to answer the question, what of which transcript will really be affected? Well, we have to identify what each of these polymerases is responsible for producing. So RNA polymerase 1 is responsible for producing ribosomal RNA. So think your 18S and your 28S subunits in the ribosome. Okay, so that's RNA polymerase 1. For RNA polymerase 2, let's drag this down a little bit. We find that this will have an effect on our pre-mRNAs because it's RNA polymerase 2, which is going to actually produce our RNA transcript. So it will take our DNA, convert it into pre-mRNA, which then is going to be processed. And finally, we will get our processed RNA, mRNA at the end. Okay, so that's the flow of events for RNA polymerase 2. So we should point out here that this is the pre-mRNA that is produced from RNA polymerase 2. And we said that there's also a strong effect that alpha-amanitin has on RNA polymerase 2. And just let's look at what RNA polymerase 3 is responsible for. Well, RNA polymerase 3 is responsible for producing tRNA. It's also responsible for producing the 5S. That's the 5S ribosomal RNA, in addition to other small nuclear RNAs. But we said alpha-amanitin only has a moderate effect on RNA polymerase III. So the best choice here is going to be RNA polymerase II, which obviously, as we said, will be strongly affected by alpha amanitin. And therefore, out of our answer choices is actually the pre-mRNA that is going to be most affected by low levels of alpha amanitin. So since alpha amanitin is required for RNA polymerase II to properly function, without alpha amanitin, we will have a disruption in this flow, and we will see that our pre-mRNA will be affected. So it might not be made properly, or it might not be made at all. So finally, going back to our answer choices, we find that the correct answer is answer choice D.